Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our town meeting for August the 6th, 2024. Thank you all for coming. We have a lot of information to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Chaplain Brenda to come up and ask the blessing for our meeting.
It's good to be together. May we ask the Lord's blessing upon us. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this time that we can come together with faith and hope, and we trust in your presence to be with us during this time. Lord, be with all who are presenting news and information and those bringing concerns and questions as well, and may we be open to your leading during this time especially. Bring us together with unity of heart and of mind. And Lord, we can't help but ask for more rain from the heavens. We've been so dry, and some parts of our country are getting an overabundance of rain. Be with those, we ask. But we ask for your blessings to fall upon us. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Well, I can guarantee you that rain is coming because I washed my car last night. You're welcome. That'll really catch it if I leave the windows open. I have done that before. So I can't look at that up there because it's distracting. So you'll see something different that we're doing, that now on the screen we have closed captioning. Aren't we fancy? So those that may have difficulty hearing and specific acoustics, the closed captioning is available now. So those watching out on Menno land should be able to see the same thing. And we'll see if the closed captioning picks up on all my creative words, right? Because I typically have a few. So I want to talk a little bit. So firstly, before I get started, I don't want to jinx us about the length of our meeting, but Ryan Fritz, our CFO, is not here. He is assisting one of his children to move to Nebraska. So he has been trapped in a U-Haul for a little while. So he is not with us today. And Denise Ingram is on vacation this week, celebrating a birthday. And Tori Lorenz from Team Services is just back to work from maternity leave and is up to her eyeballs, so I gave her a free pass. So it's only a handful of us that are going to be up with you today. So hopefully we can get through it pretty strategically. And if we have any questions that any of us here are unable to answer, we will make sure that we get those to you. So I do want to give a couple updates on just some new faces that you may see. You'll see here, this is a little bit of Denise's part. So I wanted to introduce you to Hillary Flory. Hillary is a part of our admissions team, our admissions coordinator. So if you are ever in need of, you have a surgery and need to maybe spend a night or two at our rehab, Hillary may be someone that's picking up the phone and having a conversation with you. The admissions team is made up of Hillary, Brooke, Carpenter, as well as Jennifer Gelwick's a part of our rehab team as well. So just want to put a name with a face there. And then Lori Brindle is the lovely lady there in the middle. You may have already met Lori. She's been spending some time at the front desk of the Life Center. But Lori is positioned to be our new Helen Keckler. Our Helen from the marketing team is going to retire. Ooh. So we have had Lori come in and be at the front desk, but also be side by side by Helen, because we know Helen is a bit of a unicorn and touches a lot of things and knows a lot of information. So having her and Lori connect with each other is really important before Helen decides to officially retire coming soon. And then the third young lady pictured here is Monica Miller. And Monica is our payroll coordinator. So this is a slide that we've used at some team meetings, and all of our team members should know the payroll coordinator, right? That person is a very vital person, so we wanted to put a picture with the face there as well. Wanted to give you a brief update about our Scotland Road project. As you can see that we have continued to knock down a couple more houses out along Scotland Road, and I just wanted to remind you that all 5 of the lots have been contracted for. So just to hit the little nail on the head here, if you're curious about the house that was taken down in the block between Northgate Commons and Northfield Boulevard, right? So our Scotland Road has been primarily Northgate Commons to the main entrance area. We did take down a house in the next block over, but we have not put that out for contract. We do not own all the homes in that block. So that was a home. We do have a rental property in that block, but that home that was purchased, I don't even think we would have been comfortable turning it into a rental. So it needed to be razzed. So that's happened there. But I have people calling, hey, are you putting a house there? Calm down. But I just wanted to put that out there from the beginning. Okay. Wanted to give you an update about our Northgate pool. Our Northgate pool is going to be closed. We are going to resurface the pool. We are waiting on a date. We put a deposit down. We are waiting for the contractor to kick back to us when that date will be. We will keep it as closed the least amount of time as possible. But if you have spent some time in the pool, you realize that there are some areas that need significant attention and need to be resurfaced. So that will be happening in the very near future. We'll communicate that out as soon as we know the date, but just want to give you a heads up. I also want to give you a heads up that those banners that hang above the pool will be coming down, but we will not be replacing them. We have had several folks here, several team members have been doing some due diligence to try to find replacements, but if you think about the pool, they're not on a pulley system, so we can only get in there to get the banners if the pool is emptied and drained, which is just not very convenient, and those banners get dirty. And there's not an easy way to clean them. So we tried to figure out if we could MacGyver something to come up with something different. But the banner replacements are looking about like $17,000. And I just can't wrap my head around stringing some fabric up for 17 grand. So just, I want to kind of put that out there again, be transparent. No banners. We're not spending $17,000, but we are going to resurface the pool because it's long overdue. I want to talk about the grounds department. First of all, I think here especially, we almost need to take a moment of silence for our very special tree out front. Oh, right? I was over I can't remember if it was, today's only Tuesday, last week, the end of the week, at some day, and they were gathering up the branches that had broke, knowing that we had already had that tree side cabled. So we had been literally holding it together because of how precious it is to all of us. But the whole one side was cracked and a hazard. And we've had the tree experts out to see if it could be saved. But even if we just sliced off that end, we know that it would have continued to just kill off the rest of the tree. So it feels naked there, doesn't it? I had a little mourning when I came through today. But we are going to try to save some of the slabs. Corey has contacted the Cumberland Valley Tree Service, and they have a big hunk of the trunk yet, and they're going to work with us to save some of that woodwork, and hopefully we can incorporate that into our history hall, the hallway between the manor and the healthcare center upstairs. And I don't know if we'll make it a shelf or a table or something in memory of that tree, because that tree has been in, it seems, every picture and postcard known to anybody here in the past for the Penn Hall School for girls and for us here at Menno Haven as well. And I do want to touch a little bit about the grounds department that we have been hearing concerns in our resident councils. We've been hearing this impression that we have changed the culture of our grounds, the expectation that nothing gets done unless we put in a work order. And that's not how we want to be. So I just want to publicly say that I have 110% confidence in Corey and his ability to get the grounds team and the culture of our grounds team working alongside our mission here at Menno Haven. So there is some, talks about some sort of reorganization within the grounds department. What does that look like? And you remember that here at Menno Haven, we are a strength-based organization. So again, lining people up with their strengths. And making sure that if we have an area that needs a lot of detail, we don't have someone in that area that's a big project person, right? Because if they're not wired to be detailed oriented, it is not going to be a fun job for them. And as a customer, we're never going to get satisfaction. So I just want to put that out there that I have heard you. I have heard and seen your concerns, and working alongside with Corey and his supervisor, Brian Garber, and I stand firm behind Corey and have confidence that we can do better, and we will. All right? Now I'm going to put my Ryan Fritz hat on as the financial person here. I joked yesterday with Steve that I was going to put up a slide that just had a bunch of jumbled numbers and said, looks good, right? But before Ryan left, he did prepare me with a few slides. So, of course, the main things that we're always focused on is meeting our bond covenants, and this is sort of a little pulse check that we're doing okay. So our debt service coverage ratio, we are at a 1.52, and remember the requirement is 1.2. So we are meeting and exceeding our bond covenant. And then our days cash on hand is at 320 days, where we are required to have 150. So good news there. Our finance highlights, our operating revenue is exceeding our budget, and that revenue is because of improved census in our skilled nursing areas. And I talk so much and talk to so many people, so I can't remember if I was up front with you or not about the changes in our admissions team and what that looks like. And so we are really laser focused in on making sure that we have connections with the hospital. We want to be the place that folks, when they need rehab or they need skilled care, want to come to Menno Haven. And so really making that a priority, and we have seen the return on that because our census numbers have been up. And then our operating expenses, we did not hit this target. The team continues to monitor and work to decrease our expenses. So things like not spending $17,000 on banners will be important. But really where we're over in that number is our labor related costs, and they continue to exceed budget. So our labor is really what's impacting us there. Rolling right into that for team's services update. So search for vital positions is on. So this is what we're focused on. What Tori is focused on right now is finding a talent acquisition specialist. That's just a really fancy name for a recruiter, right? This is what people want to be called, right? I'm not just a recruiter. I'm a talent acquisition specialist. Whatever floats your boat. So we're in search of one of those people. We are also in search of an HR generalist. And so I have their HR generalist / employee relations. So this morning before I came to you, I was filming a video with Karen White-Jones, who is our other HR generalist. And her focus is really on employee benefits, workers' compensation, Family Medical Leave Act, things of that nature. And where we feel we have a gap is in having an HR generalist that is really focused on employee relations. So that's who Tori is targeting right now to get her team filled to the brim. Okay, so I want to flip back here. I'm going off script. Some of the things here that say labor-related costs continue to exceed budget. When team services is hiring, what we are finding right now is that our local competitors, the nursing areas right here in our zip code, if you would go on Indeed, which is a job platform to try to find a job, you will find that those competitors are offering our licensed staff, our LPNs and our RNs, their starting wage right now has just went up $5 more per hour than us. Right? So gone are the days where we post how much the rate is, and that's what you get. Our real life scenarios are those potential candidates are negotiating. They are saying, hey, I can go down the street and make $5 more an hour. We counter with, go ahead, you'll come back to us, in a loving way, right? Our culture is different than down the street. But we can't stand in the way of anyone who needs those monies and funds to pay their bills, right? All of us are feeling that pinch on our wallets. But I want to just kind of bring that to light about some of the struggles that the team services and recruiting good team members are having right now. That this battle for the same people and figuring out how we can recruit those people, get them in our doors, and keep them here when the woo of higher and higher wages comes from everybody else is hard to compete with. Okay, now I would like to bring to the front our very own Billy Torrey. Thank you, Billy.
And I knew it would not spell my name right. With a Y.
Oh.
And remind me again, Tiff, which way to advance?
Not sure.
Not sure? Okay, well, I'll figure it out as we go. All right, well, I'm going to do some auxiliary updates here this morning, and then after that I will do some community updates as well. Just want to remind you that coming up on Saturday, September 21st, will be the Auxiliary Music Fest from 5:30 to 8. The lower level of the Life Center will have heavy hors d'oeuvres, beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, music by the Cruisers. It is $60 per person going on this 60th anniversary. Oh, thank you, Steve. My helper in the back. I forgot there was a slide. You can pay by cash, check, or charge your Menno Haven account. And we'll need to do so by the 13th, but invitations are coming out soon. There are a few folks that have already contacted me, so if you know you would like to come, please email me, call me, and I'll be happy to get those rolling for you. Save the date, chicken barbecue, Saturday, October the 5th at Lowe's. And there will be more information to come on that, on the time and the cost of dinners. And the auxiliary just also asked me to say a few thank yous. We specifically would like to thank those who attended our first pancake breakfast. It was ever so successful, and thank you for your support. We had a great turnout, and we profited just around $900 from that event. So that was a great for a first time, and I see many more of those pancakes and Roger flipping pancakes in the future. So, yes, you're practicing. Okay, very good. He did do a great job. And one other thing that they would like to make thank you about is the auxiliary received a very nice sizable donation in memory of a resident that lived here at Menno Haven, and the family chose the auxiliary, and we're just very appreciative of the family choosing the auxiliary to make the donation. Not that I'm trying to take away from Chuck, but the auxiliary appreciates these donations as well, because we in turn spend the funds and buy things for Menno Haven for our residents and team members. So we greatly appreciate the donations as well. So think of us the next time. So, all right. Oh, I need this. Community updates. Blade sharpening. Who would have thought this would have ever been so popular? But it is. He had to add a second date. So, Doug Ryder from Sharp Again will be here on Monday, August the 19th. So if you've already made your reservation for Monday, August the 19th, you're good. And we have added an additional day, August the 20th, Tuesday, the very next evening, same time, 4:30 to 7:30 at the Brookview Pavilion. The QR code will still work to get you to Tuesday's date, or you can call Doug and set up a time with him as well. So, and we'll see how this goes, and he and I can work together and decide if we need to have, how often he should be coming back for his blade sharpening services. There will be some paving in front of the Manor and the Renaissance. Interstate paving will be on site, weather permitting, on August the 12th to remove the skinny sidewalk that runs the width of the Manor to the Renaissance, and fill the area in with asphalt. The roadway should be passable, but might be a little congested. So please avoid if you're able, but if not, if you need to drive through, just use caution. And if all goes well, this should only be a 2-day job, so just a couple of days. I'm sorry, what's that? Next Monday, August the 12th is when it is slated to start, if all goes well. We have a new shopping opportunity. Aldi's grocery shopping will be next Monday, August the 12th also. It will always fall the second Monday of every month, but it begins next Monday as our first time. We'll depart Brookview at 9 a.m. and Chambers Point at 9:15. And some unique features if you go shopping there, if you're familiar with shopping there, you do need a quarter to access a shopping cart. They do not have shopping bags. You can buy brown paper bags. I think it's maybe for like 10 cents. But, you know, if you have your own shopping bags, take them along. They do have one cashier that works typically, but they have 6 self-checkouts, and they only accept credit cards. And there's no electric scooters available if you depend on that to get through the grocery store too. So that had been a request, so we're putting it out there to see, and I think we do have one person that has called already to get on that shopping trip. So just call transportation like you normally would and to get put on the list. Massage therapy. I've been talking with Jeannie, the massage therapist, and there's a few changes that will be coming in September, and we'll get this information out to you. She will be moving her hours to Wednesdays and Fridays, and both days she will be available to schedule massages from 10 to 2. She does need to decrease her 30-minute massage to 25 minutes just because she has a request for so many, and she just needs a little bit of more time for turnover and rest. And she's going to add a few more new options, some treatments. She's going to offer back and foot scrubs and cupping, and all of these will be an additional $15 to the massage that you're having. Community Shred Day is Friday, October the 11th, with the rain date on Friday, October the 18th. Locations 9 to 9:30 at Brookview at the Service Center, and at Chambers Point, the front parking lot at the Renaissance from 9:45 to 10:15. And some of this information is just fresh. We just got at the end of last week, this week, so this is why you're hearing it new today. But all information will be put in Haven Connects and everywhere else so you can remember all these dates. I've also had a few folks already asking about transportation to the polls for voting. So I've already instructed my transportation team to block out a time and have a driver just dedicated to taking people to vote at the polls on November 15th. So again, please just call transportation, get your name on the list. Also indicate where your voting poll is. I know we have some folks that go to the Park Avenue Church and some that go to the Scotland Community Center.
It's November 5th.
Did I say 6th? 5th. Did I say 15th? I'm sorry. I even have a 5 right here on my notes.
I'm dyslexic too.
So, but right above it I have 10:15, so maybe that's why. Thank you for calling me out on that. My apologies.
That's okay.
Yeah, so November the 5th, voting to the polls. Thank you. And the last thing I have is I originally had on here about the Rocksteady boxing that I was still working out the details, but right before I came here, I do have more information that Rocksteady boxing class schedule is started to begin on Tuesday, September 4th. Classes will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Classes will be from 8 to 4. Oh my gosh, 3 to 4. That'd be a long class, wouldn't it? 3 to 4. What's that? Well, she says setup is at 2:30. The class is from 3 to 4, and breakdown is from 4 to 4:15 is what she has here on the email. And then also, in addition, they would like to be here on August the 14th at 2:30 to offer an information hour where anyone interested in the class can come to meet with Stuart, the coach, and see some of the equipment that would be used during the class.
And Billy, can I come if I want to participate or if I want to be a cornerman? So if you're interested in volunteering, you can.
Yes, yes, you would be able to get some information there as well if you're interested in volunteering to be a quarterman or to participate in the class. And again, we'll get some more information out about this as soon as we can. Okay. Yes. The Menno Haven Auxiliary. Correct. Yes. The question was, if you pay by check for the Music Fest, who do you make the check out to? And you make that out to the Menno Haven Auxiliary, and see that I get the check and I will get it to our treasurer. Okay? All right, thank you. Roger is up next. I don't even remember. Where's the turtle? Where's Shelley?
Next year. All right. Good morning, everybody. I really don't have anything. I just wanted you to know I am not on vacation this week, so I'm here. But while I'm here, I've got a couple things I just want to tease out to you. You know, as soon as it's, peach season is over, apple season is over, and then pretty soon comes vaccination season. And of course, there's more and more to choose from every year. So just to save the date, that the community nurses will be hosting a community-wide health fair in the event center. The times are yet to be determined. They're still working on all that. There will be a lot of information coming out to you in the mail and otherwise. But more than vaccinations, but definitely that'll be an opportunity for you to get your influenza vaccine for sure. We're also working with a Walmart pharmacy, the folks who came to give the shingles vaccines earlier. If they get 75 people to raise their hand that they're willing to be vaccinated, they will come out and they will offer both COVID boosters and they will offer the RSV vaccine. And again, last year with the RSV, it was kind of like, well, you should talk to your doctor. If they think it's right for you, you should get that. But the CDC has changed their stance on the RSV vaccine, and they're saying that everyone over 65 should be vaccinated against RSV. So if you haven't, this is an opportunity for you to do so. It'll be an opportunity to get that COVID booster. But my guess is you're not going to want all three of those in the same day. So, you may want to consider go get that RSV somewhere else. They're saying that you can definitely take the COVID and the flu, one in each arm, and it's fine. Just get the soreness out all at once. But you're not going to want that third. So pick and choose what you may want to be administered at the health fair, and then go get that other vaccine before or after at your local pharmacy, probably. So the community nurses are asking, so that they can track that 75 people limit, that you give them a call. Their phone number is listed there, and you can leave them a message. You don't have to talk to them. Just say, hey, I would like to get the COVID or the RSV or both at the health fair. Okay, and that is all I have for today. But Chuck has lots to talk about.
Good morning. I have a few things for you. First, I don't have a slide on it, but in my role, I get involved in about everything. And Tiffany always says, how did you get in the middle of this? I don't know, I just did. And, well, I meet with so many of you, and the casual situations, and we talk about, and a lot of times you bring up your concerns. And I tell you, what I've heard so much about lately is, I can't hear. I'm having trouble hearing when I come to these town meetings or coffee and conversation. And I could relate to that because a couple of months ago I got hearing aids. Not that I needed. My wife said for 2 years, I never heard her. I did hear her though. I swear I heard her. But I got them. And, but we worked, Ryan, our CFO, and I worked with Steve Vanzer, a director of IT. What can we do? How can we give our residents who can't hear the ability to hear better? So he came up with, as you'll see, it writes on the screen. One resident said, why can't you put it up there when you talk? He said, Chuck, you're just going to have to talk slower. And I said, well, try, but I'm not promising you. But, and I think that helps a lot. Just let us know. Also, we have these hearing devices, little monitors you can put on. They're right at the door, and you can hopefully hear better. Also, we're looking at where it can hook up. I don't know, Steve, we haven't got into this deep, where it can hook up to your hearing aids. There's certain places we can do that, because someone just said, as I was coming in, where's your husband? Oh, I said, he doesn't come because he can't hear. And I tell you, that is frustrating. So we're trying to do all we can. And if you have ideas, just let us know. Okay. See if I'll go the right way. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing this year. And we're making a difference in your lives, increasing the quality of your life, and that's what's important. The Benevolent Fund, as all of you are aware of, it has helped so many people that over the years, it was started when Menno was formed, and many people have run out of funds. And we have never put anybody out because of financial situation. Our goal this year is $750, hope to break $1 million. We're at $488 because we take out, at least finance takes out about $250,000 a quarter to cover the benevolence. Now, what we don't have already collected, we supplement from operations. At some point, we would like to be able, from contributions, to supplement the full amount of the benevolence. But it is a special thing. I get a lot of cards from people, and most of them are all nice, I'll tell you that. Every once in a while I get one that they send me articles with no name on it. So anyway, this one was nice, and this is from Charles and Maria Booth, and they live over here. Maria lives in the Manor and Charlie in the Renaissance. Funny thing about Maria is that she's from Puerto Rico, and her father was a diplomat. When he came to Washington, they put her in school here at Penn Hall School for Girls about 65 years ago. Pretty unreal. But she sent me this card. Chuck, our grandson and his new wife have asked their wedding guest that instead of gifts, they donate to their favorite charity. We have chosen Menno's Benevolent Fund. Please accept these gifts in their name. Wow. Here's people in their 20s that really have a heart for Menno and taking care of people, and they love the care that their grandparents had gotten. They're the kind of cards I like to get. Okay, the Hope House. I think you've all heard about that. This is a house that we're going to be building with Habitat for Humanity for one of our team members who had the opportunity to apply. It's all, well, I'm going to let Mark Stories with us, the executive director, explain all this. We're up to about $50,000 in cash and in-kind gifts. In-kind gifts are contractors do concrete roofing, appliances, electric, that they donate a portion of whatever they do to the project, and there's a dollar amount associated with that. And we really haven't even got into that yet, but I think Mark can tell you how many we've gotten now. But one thing I want to clarify, you know, we're promoting this, and we put a sign out in the front of Chambers Point and Brookview, and I got a number of calls in the front as you come in. Well, that's a great place to catch people. Are we building a house there? No, and when I thought about it, makes sense, doesn't it, if we put the sign there? But what we want to do is to catch as many people coming in that they can see it. Now, we just put up new ones that are printed on both sides, and the ones on one side, one's put at the Life Center and one's put at the Manor, so it's not going in there. But I'd like to introduce Mark Story, who's the executive director, to talk about Habitat, and they have a very sophisticated program.
Chuck, I noted the tool belt. I don't know if anybody else saw that yet, but we have a tool apron.
I didn't say anything, but Tori will tell you that, or Billy will tell you that if you volunteer, you're going to get a tool belt. And if you want to use it for nails, you can use it as an apron. There you go.
Well, good morning. I bring you greetings from Habitat for Humanity of Franklin County. Our service area is all of Franklin County, but only Franklin County. And we have been in operations here locally for 30 years. And I want to talk about numbers, but I'll do that in just a moment. The mission of Habitat is seeking to put God's love into action. Habitat brings people together to build homes, community, and hope. And in that sense, organizationally, we are co-laborers with one another. Menno Haven and Habitat have a wonderful synergy amongst our missions and a great camaraderie amongst our staff people, our volunteers, and there's so much overlap. That's one thing we've discovered in these meetings, so much overlap between our two organizations. So why not partner together? Why not build together? Why not do a Hope House right here in Chambersburg? And much to our delight, one of your team members is what we call our partner family, the home buying family who will reside in that house. So we're talking about the Green Village area, a little cul-de-sac called Sutherland Court. It's about 5 miles, a little less than 5 miles from here. We will be breaking ground in earnest in just a couple of weeks, literally bringing out the heavy machinery to move dirt. And then a smaller group of us will be having a ceremonial groundbreaking ceremony or a time of blessing there. We can't bring everybody out because it's not a very big street and we don't want to overwhelm the neighborhood, but we will be having a special service there to ask God's blessing and to commence our work there. So that's the Menno Haven Hope House. And I'm very grateful, starting with the staff people, the administration, for partnering with us together like this. And I'm grateful in advance to you folks for participating both financially and or with volunteer labor. We are very grateful to work together with you. So let's talk about a few numbers, okay? You like numbers? Chuck and I like numbers. We're always looking at numbers. So Menno Haven is celebrating a 60-year anniversary this year. That's neat. That's wonderful. I don't know if it has been shared, but we give God the sovereign credit. This Hope House that we're talking about is the 60th Habitat House in Franklin County. I'll tell you, yes, thank you. Man would not have been able to figure that out 60 years ago, right? But God was able to figure that out a long time ago. I just think it's neat that the 60th house, built by volunteers in Franklin County, will primarily be built by you folks celebrating a 60-year anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, Habitat of Franklin County is 30 years old this year, so we began, that's easy math, we began in 1994. And my wife and I have been married for just about that same amount of time, almost 30 years. And now I have to pause for a second because I'm reading some of your thoughts. You're thinking, now wait a minute, he's been married 30. I thought that guy was about 30 years old. No, I've been married for 30 years. 2 adult daughters. So when I was a kid, we'll play a little game. When I was a kid, we were still painting our houses with lead paint, if you remember those years. My brother and I were happily drinking out of the garden hose out of the back of the house there. Gas was actually being rationed. I have clear memories as a child. You could only buy gas every other day, depending on what your license plate said. You remember those days? Boy, I'll tell you, we would freak out if that happened right now, wouldn't it? We would have even bigger problems. You know who was reading the news? Walter Cronkite. What a great newsman. But as a kid, I remember laying on my dad's lap watching the news, growing up with Walter Cronkite. So that's how old I am right there. A couple more numbers, and I'm very serious about this. President Jimmy Carter did not found Habitat for Humanity, right? It's a common myth that he started Habitat, but he is probably our most famous volunteer. And he did it as a past president. So I honor President Carter and Rosalynn, whom we lost not just a year ago. November will be a year since our passing. I honor both of them for their stalwart support of Habitat. Speaking of marriage, do you know how long those folks were married? 77 years. Wow, yes. So what matters most in life is our pursuit of Christ and our honoring of our marriage vows, right? If we can keep those things at the forefront, then we're going to have a great life. President Carter is 99. They're planning his 100th birthday. And folks, why am I talking about President Carter and his age? Because he is still very effective, even in these senior years of his life. You are very valuable. I know Menno Haven tells you that, and I'm coming in as an outsider to tell you the exact same thing. You are valuable in our community. You're valuable to the Lord. You're valuable to one another. So if President Carter can continue to advance Habitat's mission, even while in hospice care, certainly there is an opportunity for you to continue to advance whatever mission you're excited about, and in this context, it's Habitat. So to wrap this up with a bow, we will be, Lord willing, getting this Hope House under roof before winter, dried in or buttoned up, however you want to call it that we will have plentiful winter work to take place on the inside of the house. We do this in partnership with one of your team members. That family will be working on their sweat equity, helping to build their own house right alongside you, right alongside our volunteers. And then when that house is finished, that becomes their deeded property. That family, like every other Habitat family, buys the house from Habitat, and we lend them the money. And we do that at, what interest rate does Habitat apply to our loans? Most of you probably know. 0%. Try to find a better deal. 0% interest. Now, I'll tell you, that is a lousy business plan, right? Don't lend money at 0%. Not a good business plan, but it's a very important part of our mission. So we lend the family the money. They make payments back to Habitat on a monthly basis, right? Their mortgage payment. And then we roll those payments right into the next Habitat house. That's called the Fund for Humanity, and that's how we work financially. So God bless you. Happy to be here with you. Thank you for the Hope House. Chuck, anything else?
And Billy's going to talk to you. She's our volunteer coordinator. Yes.
Where can we get that volunteers needed flyer?
Yeah.
I have a.
And you're going to be getting it in the mail. I was going to talk about that. And also, an envelope. And on here, now if you want to put something in it, that'd be appreciated. But on the back, you can say whether you want to come to the groundbreaking or not. And also, if you'd like to volunteer. And then we'll be getting back to you.
Yes.
All yours.
All right. Yes, so to volunteer, we have flyers in the back of the room here this morning. And it leads you step by step. You can go to the Habitat website and fill out an application, or we have paper forms. You can use a QR code to scan to fill out the application. You will not be volunteering for Menno Haven. You will be volunteering through the Habitat. And Justin is the volunteer coordinator through Habitat, but he and I have been working closely together. And I can give him the applications if you prefer to fill it out on the paper form. There is a safety video that you must view. And it is a little tricky. I must admit, it even stumbled me a little bit when I went in to try and watch the safety video. So just be very careful. There's directions here how to watch the safety video. If you have any trouble, issues doing that, please call me and I'll help walk you through that as well. Is there anything else I may have missed? And we're looking to volunteer on the site when volunteers are ready on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we're looking to do that, I believe, beginning the week of September 9th is what we're hopeful for.
And
Approximately 9 to 2, 9 a.m. to 2, and generally about 8 to 10 volunteers at a time.
Exactly.
So, And it's my understanding, if you have never put up drywall before, you can learn to do it. So there's many jobs that you can do. Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Billy. One of the benefits of this is if you volunteer, it's team members and residents working together. You get to know each other, people you've never talked to before. So there's a lot of benefits to this program. Hopefully, you'll take advantage of it. And we're going to have pictures and ongoing in the newsletter and everything, and on our in-house TV. And I'm sure Tiff will be talking at it on it every week on the Tiffany Show, okay? Which is a pretty interesting show. And that's the groundbreaking on the 24th, 2 o'clock, September 4th, and it will, it'll be here before you know it. Okay, Branch Creek, we haven't really kicked that off. You know, that's the community center in Shippensburg, which we run. We've been down there helping them clean out years of accumulations. We're getting a new sign made outside, which we'll use for marketing. And Roger's in charge of Branch Creek, and he does a great job. He took us down to the board meeting, and Allie and I here last month, and the excitement in there was tremendous of the people there, and they wanted to be part of it. And they have been sending us testimonials we can use in the marketing place, and it's very interesting as to the effects it's had on their life. So you do make a difference. So you'll be hearing more about that. Okay, Menno Cares, that's the program for teen members that we do certain things from buying diapers to we give backpacks for their kids when they go back to school, to if they need help paying an electric bill or something because of a family financial situation. And a lot of this money up to this point has been raised by team members. We have been doing a little appeal to team members to do payroll deductions, and we already got 2 or 3 this week more. So because they're helping each other. So that's something for you to think about. Okay, we're always in need of vehicles, and Minnehaven at Home is a priority now. We need a couple there. And if you're thinking about donating a vehicle, you're not driving it anymore, we'll give you a tax letter, and we'll take it off your hands. It won't cost you a thing. And rehab, the health center, and maintenance, they need another truck. And Jim Metz is looking for one, and I had a resident come in this morning, Chuck, when you find out what you want, just give me the bill, I'll write you a check. And I said, God bless you. So it's amazing how people just come out of the woodwork. Just some of the things that have been funded. You know, the dog park, some happy dogs over there. We got the new gates in there, and we put stones all of it, and we did some other things there with donated funds. And then a resident donated a new gazebo up back of, on the trail back of Northfield, and it's very nice. And I probably told you this before. The other one was falling down. You couldn't sit on it. We put yellow tape around it, and when she was walking, she said she could hardly wait to get there to sit down. Then she couldn't. She said, what would it take? I said, to sit down. I said, 10,000. She said, I'll bring you a check. I'm going to put tape on everything around here. So anyway, it's a great story. Then here at the health center, right here to the north side, we put in new fencing. We've put in a gate that is, you have to have a card or a code to get out. And residents can go out there, and they can't get out then, which is good, because we don't want to lose anybody. And we put some new furniture in there. And then last week or the week before, we just got all new furniture for the front of the manor, which is used a lot. We've heard a lot of great compliments on that. The other project that we're working on is right down the hall here, the salon. It's going to be completely done over. We have a resident over at Chambers Point that said, I want to pay for it. And I said, well, it's going to be expensive. He said, just tell me what it is. And he wrote us a check for it. You know, we're getting 2 sinks that go up and down. The cost of things, each of those sinks are $5,500. And new chairs, and the cost of materials now is unreal. Repaint, flooring, everything. It's going to be very nice. Why? That was for 2. Yeah. I thought they were too. And Allie just showed me. She's got all the facts here. I might have told you 12 grand. I probably did. You know, I exaggerate just a little bit. But you are correct. And the other thing here is culinary, and I'm going to have Bill Powers come up, has needed, they wanted vehicles for each campus. You know, anytime we buy one, we got to buy 2. One for this campus and one for the other. And Ryan, our CFO, said, Chuck, I'm tired of buying vehicles that we got to get inspected, get worked on. We have to get them licensed. Let's look at golf carts. And I said, okay. Well, we went up to this place on Warm Spring Road. What's it called? Battery Express. They have a bunch of them, used ones there, and you get to design your own. And Bill was with us, and Jeremy, and Ed Garman, who lives over here, who knows a lot about golf carts, and Ryan, and we got to design our own. And we put big wheels on it for the snow. We've got it closed in. Also, he had a green steering wheel there hanging, and we said, boy, we want that. And he said, nobody would want that green. I gave him my business card. That's our color. So we're getting that, and we got the seats upholstered with green stripes and a box. Maybe you can tell them, Bill, about how it's going to work in the box we got designed for the back.
First off, I'd just like to say thank you to Chuck. With the culinary department discussing delivery vehicles and the amount of deliveries that we do here from the Chambers Point campus to the cottages here, and then also over at the Brookview campus, team members were driving their own personal vehicles, making those deliveries, which is just not right, and we wanted a vehicle for each campus. So when we had the opportunity to go look at these golf carts, Jeremy, Fry, myself, Chuck, Ryan Fritz, we went out to look at these golf carts, and just the amount of customization that they were able to do to fit our needs was tremendous. They're actually building, actually the golf carts will be delivered today, and they built on the back of the golf carts a nice aluminum box with a shelf in the middle of it that we can store our food bags in when we go out for deliveries. So we're really looking forward to getting these delivered today and putting them to good use, delivering meals to residents on both campuses. So once again, I want to say thank you to Chuck for really spearheading this project and getting the golf carts for us.
Bill, this is a growing demand, isn't it?
Most certainly a growing demand. We've really pushed over here, especially at the Chambers Point campus, our capabilities of meal deliveries for residents out in the cottages. We have residents who, say have a surgical procedure or a medical procedure and can't get out to the grocery store. We'll do a delivery, set up deliveries for them for a 2-week period, a 3-week period. We have several residents that we deliver to every single day for months on end. So please, if you're ever in need and can't get out to the grocery store or whatever the case may be, give us a call and we can set up some meal deliveries for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, and we'll be putting our logo, the Sprout Man, on it, and the colors, and they're deciding what to put on the back as far as the number to call, and we think this is a great addition. Okay, Heritage Week. You know, it's our 60th anniversary. I remember when we had the 50th, and it seems like yesterday, but we have a lot planned. In fact, when I read over it, I said, we got a little carried away. It's going to be an exhausting week. The big thing is, and I'd like for all of you to come, is on Sunday, the 15th, and that's our ceremony at the Life Center. That will, we have a number of speakers, and we'll be talking about our heritage, which is quite a heritage. And not most organizations have that. And we will also be showing it. IT, Steve is able to set it up here, all the health centers, Northgate, and residents can't come. It'll be a big screen TV, and we'll have refreshments there for them also. It's going to be a nice day. The next day is the pie baking contest. I don't know what to call it. All of you can bake pies, residents can, and they're going to have judges. You know, there could be 60 pies. You're going to be awful sick if you're a judge eating all those. And then whichever pie wins, they're going to serve it at the end of the week, Thursday, and all the food venues. So good luck. Where are we going to hold the pies? Bill?
The pies for the day of,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be delivered in the morning, and then judged shortly thereafter in the morning.
Okay.
So just to clarify, what's going to happen with the pie day is that the winning recipe, so the winning pie that is judged on Monday, that recipe will then be made and baked fresh to be served Thursday at all of the dining venues. So we're not keeping half-eaten pie till Thursday. We're better than that, people. But there'll be a lot of pie this week.
You can explain the rest of it.
I sure will
You
explain
know
the
this
rest
by
of them.
heart.
So where are we at? So Monday Pie Day, Tuesday is our Menno Haven Colors Day. So many of you had the opportunity to buy a new shirt. We didn't think about it, that it's a long sleeve shirt and it's going to be in September and we're probably going to cook to death. But if you have Menno Haven logoed items, we want you to wear it and wear it loud and proud. We're going to try to take a team member anniversary picture. That's something that we've done for several years now, and is sort of a pride thing for us to try to get as many team members as possible to take an anniversary picture. And so we'll want to see a lot of photos that day. Wednesday, cardboard boat regatta. You know this is my passionate day. If it rains that day, we're going to do it on Friday. I know that we have 10 boats already. See, all I had to do was buy little blow-up things and make everybody row their arms off last year, and now people will make boats. So no, it's going to be a great, great time. We'll have the famous Menno Haven hot dogs out and about, and so it's just going to be an amazing time. So please come out to that. If you have never experienced a cardboard boat regatta, you will not be disappointed. You have to come out, bring your lawn chair. Thursday is going to be 60s Days. Again, we're going to celebrate with the winning recipe. We're going to have 60 themed events and activities and food items and things of that nature. Friday is our Anything Goes games. We needed a day to kind of be able to swap things out in case it rains. So if it's raining on Wednesday, we'll swap and do Anything Goes that day. My vision for that day is that, does anybody remember the Anything Goes days that happened here in Chambersburg years and years ago? And they did crazy things like hospital bed races and wheelchair races and all these just nuts stuff. And I guess they were held down at Henninger Field and different places. Our vision of that is we challenged our departments to think about the things that they do potentially on a routine basis. So I envision the Chambers Point Healthcare Center, the Manor, the Village Square, the Rehab, the Brookview Healthcare Center. They have a bed making challenge, right? And they record it and they submit who they think is their best bed maker. And we kind of make that just a fun competition. I'm really trying to get the grounds to, who can mow or the strip of yard the quickest, or who can pull as many quick as weeds in a 10-minute span. Something fun. Challenge our dishwashers. We have a lot of kitchens. And I've been inspired by, how many of you seen the commercial from Domino's Pizza? And they actually had the commercial of the guy flipping and making the boxes. And, so they did this challenge to all of the Domino's pizza chains, and then they highlighted their team member who was the quickest making boxes. And maybe I have a soft spot for that, because If you do not know this about me, I grew up on a chicken farm. And my dad and mom had a very large chicken house. It was 2 stories, and we raised kosher birds, and they were the fryers, so they weren't the birds that were in the cages laying eggs. They were what we eat. And so when the peeps came, you had to hand feed them for the first week, which meant that we made these boxes, these flats, and you took a wheelbarrow and you threw scoops of feed because the peeps were not grown enough to figure out how to go over to the automatic feeders. I was the best box maker. So it was a pride for me when my dad would hire a neighborhood kid, and I'm like, nah. This is it. So when I saw that commercial, it spoke to my heart and brought me back to that time, and then inspired this idea about anything goes. So our thought process is that we will record these events happening, and then we'll have like an afternoon showing, so sort of kind of like a movie reel documentary of what the events are and who stepped up from the teams to participate, and just have a good time. We're hoping to make some memories there. And then Saturday, we talked about, well, for our team members, we'll be out in the front yard here every year. You know, we do a very large team member family picnic. So all of our team members invited, bring their families. There's rides, there's games, there's lots of food. It's just a really wonderful moment to celebrate our team members. And then our day is not over, because then we'll all be headed to the Menno Haven Auxiliary Music Fest that night. And then Sunday, the Lord said, we shall rest. Because it is going to be a really, really jammed-packed week. But we're hoping to come out with a lot of memories that week. Okay?
Need volunteers for that too, right?
I don't know. We might need volunteers for the cardboard boat race, maybe. But I think a call went out for that. But I don't know for who or for what. We need lifeguards? Oh, boy. No, I think we got that covered. So I'll clarify that, what we may need help with. But I think we have the team member picnic covered. I think it was the cardboard boat regatta, but I'm not quite sure what we need there. So I'll have to find out. Okay? Are your slides complete? You got more?
Sorry. Okay. Well, not lots more. 3. I've been here over 18 years, and actually I was involved with this scholarship before I came when I was president of the trust company. I met with Mrs. Meals in her cottage over at Brookview, and she wanted to do something. We drew up the trust agreement. You know, no trust agreement's the same. She put all these parameters in. She wanted it to be for a relative, nephew, son, daughter, grandson of an employee from 8th to 12th grade that would write about what their dreams were, what they wanted to do in life, and what kind of education they wanted. And they have to write a paper on this, and we have a committee that judges that. And the winner this year was Jacob Sumner, and it doesn't have to be in healthcare, it can be in anything. And, you know, he's only in 8th grade. And we have to hold on to that money because we send it to the schools for the next 4 or 5 years. But that's how she wrote it. So I know he was happy to get it. His parents were. So the other scholarship is the Elaine Shepherd. And that was started by Paul and Beth Luca for Beth's mother, who was a resident here. Mrs. Shepherd, for quite a few years, and the excellent care she got. And this has to be for health care for one of our team members, and who is going to go on to increase their education in health care. And we have 2 recipients this year, Autumn Wirtz and Biana Ross. And they were happy to get these 2 because education is very expensive. Now, and we're hoping, not all of them had stayed here. You know, we've given probably to this scholarship anywhere from 35 to 40 over the last 20 years. But a lot of them have stayed here, but the rest of them have gone into health care elsewhere. And Pardon? Is she? Okay.
over to Brookfield to be a healthcare worker here while she's studying.
Well, great, because that's what we need. And this is the Rober Scholarship. I set this up with them about 15 years ago. Mr. and Mrs. Rober had passed, but they were both at Brookview, and they wanted to do a similar thing for the team members at Brookview that are in healthcare. And we gave 4 scholarships away, as you can see them there. And they, but the only problem is that after 15 years and probably 30 scholarship, we gave it out. Allie and I sat down and divided it up, and all the money's gone. So that fund will disappear. And I'm hoping that someday someone will walk in my office and say, Chuck, I want to set up a scholarship fund. And I'll say, well, let's sit down. And it's amazing how much it helps our team members. And I guess that's about it, but I forgot to mention with the golf carts, I was thinking maybe wouldn't it be nice if we got a Mr. Frosty truck? And we could ride around to your neighborhoods with the bell dinging and you all could line up and get ice cream. So it's not out of the question, though. I'll come back up.
Okay. Well, that's it for our formal presentation. This is your moment to have any questions or comments that you would like to say. Our friend Diane in the back has the microphone. So is there anything that anybody has on their mind?
Okay. I got, working?
Yep.
Yeah, no, yes, okay. Hold it up close so you can, all right. Going back, way back to the beginning of presentation. Huh? A little bit. Okay? All right. The grounds crew here cut off the tree they took down, a bunch of rounds that hopefully in 3 or 4 months the wood will be ready to turn into wood bowls that we can, I don't know, place around whatever you want to do with them, I guess, as commemorative of the tree. And so I always appreciate that they did that and brought them over to the shop.
So Herb, just so I'm clear,
Yeah.
are you or folks at the wood shop are going to be making wood bowls out of the limbs and stuff
Limbs.
that were saved
That's
from the
correct.
tree out front
Yeah,
at Chambers
right, yeah,
Point?
we'll turn them on the lathe we have in there,
Okay.
so. we have
Wonderful.
that, so, and, did Chuck cut out yet, or is he,
No,
oh, he's
he's
still
here.
here? Hey, Chuck, if you really want a tool belt with some miles on it, I have it. It's, seen Habitat houses built for the last 40 years
Wow.
that I worked on all over the, and it's yours if you want it. A tool belt.
belt.
A real
A
tool
real
belt.
one.
Yeah, it's got suspenders on it, so that it fits anybody.
Well, as you can see, he needed the one with the suspenders because that apron already dropped to the floor over here when he had it on.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Hopple had his hand up. Mr. Hopper.
Yeah, I want to thank Habitat for about 10 years ago when I lived in another place. One of your volunteers made me 5 meditation benches that I used in a jail with a program I was doing. So I like Habitat. Thank you.
Yeah, it has really been our honor to partner with Habitat for Humanity. And I can say this because Mark is here, and I would say it even if he wasn't here. You know, just the overall philosophy and their mission aligns so well with Menno Haven. I am proud and I feel blessed that you personally have that same alignment. And when two entities come together, right, I had this crazy thought process in my brain, but to be able to come to Mark and his team and talk this through and to make it come to fruition, thank you. Thank you for that. Other things on your mind? I'm hungry, I heard it. Me too. Well, I told you the weather's going to change because I washed my car, so it's probably going to rain a little later today. Well, we'll hang out afterwards if you're not comfortable speaking out in the group. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you all for watching. Have a great afternoon.